I want to take this opportunity, first of all, Your Excellency, to welcome you to Mildmay. These are our partners in service. Allow me, Your Excellency, to also indicate that I'm here to confirm what has been said by the Executive Director together with the Chair of the Board. Whatever they said is correct. I'm also here to confirm, Your Excellency, that they have not deviated from their core mandate, which was to provide comprehensive HIV/AIDS healthcare services to the population. And that is what they have been doing for the last 18 years. The other services that you have heard about, definitely when people come here and they are HIV positive, they need other services. They may be having challenges with their eyes, they may be having diabetes, they may be having dental problems, and therefore all these are complementary services which we do really appreciate. And as mentioned by the Executive Director, this was initially closed to the staff and of course those living positively, but later it was opened up to the public. So thank you, Mildmay, for this initiative. Thank you, Mildmay, for complementing the Ministry of Health in the provision of healthcare in the country. The Member of Parliament did mention something that I think should not just go unchallenged. As Ministry of Health, we have 5-year strategic plans before every 5 years. And we have an existing one, the Health Sector Strategic Plan 2016-2020. So I don't know the ones you were talking about. And allow me also to inform the people of this area that we, as Ministry of Health, are supposed to be providing health care, of course, with support from our partners, and areas that do not have health center 3s and 4s. We are committed to having these facilities constructed in those areas. So, if this division does not have a health center, of course the divisions are equivalent to sub-counties. So if the division does not have a health center 3, we'll definitely construct the health center 3 there. That one, we can assure you, we'll do it. And currently, Your Excellency, as we speak, there is a survey that is ongoing to establish sub-counties and divisions that do not have. You are aware we acquired a loan from the World Bank, and this money is going to be used to provide this infrastructure in those areas that do not have. But of course, beginning with the hard to reach and the underserved areas. So if you qualify under the underserved, then we'll definitely start with you. But from what I can see, you do not. So, Your Excellency, also the Member of Parliament did talk about the hospital for Wakiso. We have the grade A and grade B, but as you can see, Wakiso is wide. So this is on this side, but yet the bigger population is also on the other side. So last week, we did have talks with the district chairperson, together with his entire team, to identify a health center 4 that we can upgrade to a general hospital. So those talks are ongoing, and definitely we will have that in place. So, Your Excellency, I want to really thank Mildmay for the partnership with the health sector. And of course, as a country, we have made progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS. We have also made progress, of course, in reducing the number of infections from a high 135,000 to about 83,000 as we speak now. However, Your Excellency, the AIDS-related deaths, though, have reduced from 74,000 in 2004 to about 28,000. This is where our biggest challenge now is, because there are fewer people dying of HIV/AIDS. And because of that, the youths of today are not listening to our messages. The youth of today think that HIV/AIDS is treatable. And I want to confirm that we do not yet have a cure for HIV/AIDS. And this is the message that I want the leaders from Wakiso to carry around, this being an urban area. We don't yet have a cure, and HIV/AIDS still kills. Your Excellency, we have made progress in the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS, and we are on track towards elimination. Our focus as a ministry, our focus as government is to eliminate HIV/AIDS from this country. And we have moved this long journey with mild May. We want to thank you, but to appeal that we are not yet where we should be. So the struggle still continues. You are all aware that His Excellency, the President, did launch the Presidential Fast Track Initiative, as you all know, about 2 weeks ago. And we are going to move around the country majorly to engage the men, because the women are on board, the youth are not yet on board. So our focus is really on the youth and the men, because if we are to eliminate HIV/AIDS from this country, then we must all be involved. We also, Your Excellency, did launch the Test and Treat program. And you are aware, as most of you are aware, the women have been very responsive, but the men have not been. And I don't know what the problem is. The men looking at me here, I hope you are not part of those men that we are actually talking about. Fewer men do turn up for HIV screening. Fewer men know their HIV status, and yet you are actually the ones. We don't want to blame you, but it's a fact that you are part of the problem that we are having in the country today. So as we speak now, Your Excellency, we still have high infections, and it's estimated that about 230 people are infected with HIV/AIDS every day in Uganda. This number, as you can hear, is still very high, and unfortunately, about 44% of these are youths. So we have a big challenge before us. We need to engage the youth, we need to engage the men if we are to eliminate HIV/AIDS from this country. The treatment of children living with HIV/AIDS, we really want to thank you together with the other partners. There has been a gap in this area, and there still remains a gap, Your Excellency. We, however, hope that with this new initiative, as we focus on the men, we shall definitely make strides and improve on that area to ensure that we enroll all those living with HIV/AIDS, including the children, on treatment. And of course, with support, you're all aware, with support from the Global Fund and USAID, we should not be having a gap in the treatment of HIV/AIDS. Currently, as we speak, we are getting close to 70% of those living with HIV/AIDS on treatment. So that is already, we are moving in the right direction, and we hope that by the year 2020, we shall be able to have not less than 90% of the people living with HIV/AIDS on treatment. Because we believe that once this is done, then it will go a long way in helping suppress the HIV virus. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Mild May for this initiative, for your 30-year master plan. And of course, this is the right, you're moving in the right direction. Because 30 years from now, we believe we shall not have HIV/AIDS in this country. If we end HIV/AIDS by 2030, so this facility will be wasted. So you have planned ahead of time by having this as a teaching hospital. And I want to assure you that we'll provide all the necessary support as a Ministry of Health to make this a quality teaching hospital. And Your Excellency, as you heard from the Member of Parliament, it is true we are having a challenge with the graduates coming from the medical school. There are some institutions that focus on numbers and do not focus on the quality. And this is why you're finding misdiagnosis, you're finding people being given the wrong treatment, and this is a big challenge because the teaching hospitals are few. And Your Excellency, another thing that we have to deal with, you can have a teaching hospital, but without the human resources there, then that teaching hospital will be almost of no use to us. So we have pledged, government has already pledged, this was agreed, that after the infrastructure developments that are ongoing now, the next sector to be focused on is health. So we hope that with this we shall be able to tackle the human resources for health. We have very good doctors in this country, we have very good training institutions, but the challenge is the pay, and therefore it becomes a bit of a challenge because they have to run to different facilities, not offering quality time, and this is where the gap actually is. Because the interns, the young doctors, are not supervised. So we hope that we'll be able to address this in the near future. So thank you, Mildmay, for integrating other healthcare services in this, and I hope, because now everybody knows Mildmay Uganda, that is for HIV. Maybe at some point the name the name may have to be, you have to think of that name and change it to Mildmay Hospital. I don't know, but that is just a proposal. Because as you heard from the chairman, whoever walks in here, people say, that one has already now is infected. So these are small things, but they impact heavily. So with those few remarks, Your Excellency, it's now my pleasure to officially invite you to address the gathering. Thank you very much for your attention.